5 Ghost Girl. This next video posted to Reddit by a little goth doll was recorded from a monitor, then screen capped on a phone before it finally made its way to the internet. So it's a bit potato quality. Nevertheless, the video is chilling. It was pulled from the dashcam feed of 2 truck drivers after a frightening incident. So, one night 2 truck drivers are driving on Highway 5 in Lynn, Alabama, when they get the scare of a lifetime.
64公里每小时 ，OK， 也不是很高速。操！ 像是个日本人。
Truck drivers believe that they have just run over a young girl. They pull over and call 911. But when they check the highway and the surrounding area along with arriving police, they don't find anything or anyone. There's just no one there. After the truck drivers request a viewing of the footage recorded that night on Highway 5, they are shocked. Just as they thought, there is in fact a girl in a long dress walking across the road, seemingly getting hit by their truck. The 2 guys later find out that there's a well-known ghost story about this road, Highway 5 in Lynn, Alabama. The story goes that 10 years ago on a rainy night, a teenage girl on her way home from her high school prom lost her life on the road after being hit by an 18-wheeler. So could it be that these truck drivers captured the prom dress ghost of Highway 5? Either way, their reactions say that they saw the truck hit something. But as always, you decide.
感觉像是人，感觉像是人。
Oscar the cat was adopted by the Steerhouse Nursing Home in Rhode Island when he was just a kitten, along with 5 other cats. The idea was that the 6 cats could provide companionship and comfort for the nursing home residents. However, the staff soon noticed that Oscar was not quite as friendly as the other cats.
Oscar is not always the friendliest cat. He's not friendly to, he can be bribed like many animals, but he is not a cat that will spend quality time with residents on the ward.
But the staff did begin to notice that Oscar did show a special interest in certain patients. The cat would go into the room of particular nursing home residents and curl up at the foot of their beds. Within 2 to 4 hours, the patients would pass away. After the patient was deceased, Oscar would leave the room as quietly as he had entered.
He will only go and stay with patients that are about to die. He will leave rooms, for example, when patients are not close, even though we might perceive them to be close.
If Oscar was removed from a patient's room and the door was closed, he would pace outside, meowing to be let back in.
And Oscar will frantically pace outside the closed door, which that is really something to see.
Even creepier,
他是可以看见什么生命能量吗？
been wrong.
He's been pretty accurate. I know actually of no event where he wasn't at the bedside.
Now, usually in these videos, I'll ask you if you think a story is real or fake, but there's no disputing this one. It's 100% real. Oscar the cat's amazing ability to predict the demise of patients was chronicled in 2007 in the New England Journal of Medicine after he had accurately predicted the passing of over 25 patients. Since the publishing of that article, Oscar has now predicted the passing of over 100 patients. So the real question is, how does he do it? Is it ESP or some supernatural ability? Is it something paranormal? You decide. Someone watching over. A Nuke's Top 5 viewer who wishes to remain anonymous, let's just call him or her Alex for the sake of the video, emailed me about a CCTV recording captured at an undisclosed sleep lab during a sleep apnea test. Alex says that a coworker was monitoring a widowed female patient's sleep. And then this happened.
I just start recording.
哎，我操！你们看见了吗？好像有个影子在右上角。
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
是吗？那什么玩意儿
Yes. It's gone now.
Now, to get a better understanding of what is going on, a bit of explanation is necessary. So the squiggly lines that can be seen at the bottom of the screen indicate that the woman has stopped breathing during her sleep. The mysterious pale figure then appears to reach out to wake the woman, after which she begins to breathe again. Alex believes the apparition might have been the patient's deceased husband, still carefully watching over her from beyond the grave. But what do you think this strange pale shape could be? Let me know down in the comments.
有点神奇啊，有点神奇。
Let me just start recording. Oh my god. I see it walk right up.
视频的声音好像进行过处理了，视频声音进行过处理了。
Yes. It's gone now.
The Watts house. The strange events at the Watts family home in Colorado might be one of the most reliably documented hauntings of all time. Because every piece of paranormal evidence comes from footage recorded directly by policemen on their body cams.
跟孩子都杀了吗？我操！
So Shanann Watts and her daughter Bella and Cece lost their lives under absolutely horrible circumstances, all at the hands of husband and father Chris Watts. In fact, the details of the case are so grim that I'm not going to go into them here. If you want to read the full story, you can simply Google the Watts family. In this video, two women from the police K-9 unit go through the Watts house to investigate the strange disappearance. Obviously, this video was recorded before the tragic fate of Shanann and her children were known. This footage is 100% real. It is documented police video captured by one of the investigators' body camera. So shortly after entering the house, they catch some strange video on the stairs.
为什么会叫那个 K9 啊？因为是，我们可以看见左边有个影子啊，因为是人失踪了，女儿妻都失踪了，所以叫这些警犬。
But it could just be a video glitch. But then the policewoman begins to catch multiple strange and unusually clear EVPs
当时
on her
那个男人
body
说
cam.
他找不到他女儿妻子，好像是报警吗？我忘了。没找到。
So there's your attic access right there. So there's your attic access right there.
But strangest of all, while investigating an upstairs closet, the officers actually hear something that seems to spook them.
但现在看他确实是大户人家啊，大户人家。
Oh my gosh.
The unexplained voice of a giggling child can be heard, but there's absolutely no explanation for where the sound came from. The K-9 officer is so spooked, she asks the other officer to check it out.
Oh my gosh. What in the world is that? Wow.
Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that noise came from.
Yeah, it sounded like a kid toy.
听到那种笑声吗？
Something. There was a. I heard it.
Did you hear it?
I did.
Sounded like a kid giggling or something, didn't it? Or a kid.
这女业主很喜欢高跟鞋，
We'll make a note of that.
这高跟鞋还挺多的，我操！
I definitely heard the same thing you did.
Yeah, and then he just sort of turned around.
So is the Watts house haunted by the unsettled spirits of Shanann and her daughters? Or are these simply random, seemingly very clear noises? What do you think? The Seance Witch. Paranormal investigator Brad Mack and his team are investigating a place called The Cage in a little town called St. Osyth in England. The site has a very dark history. Starting in the year 1582, this building was used as a prison, but not just any prison. The jail was used to confine and execute women convicted of witchcraft.
巫术。
Brian Mack says that during their paranormal investigation, his team heard strange footsteps and whispers. They saw lights flicker for no reason, and they even felt something bite or pinch them on several occasions. One member of their team named Vanessa was so shaken up that she absolutely refused to stay in the building after dark. But the most bizarre incident was yet to come. Late that night, the group decided to perform a seance to contact the ghosts of the convicted women who had died there. As Brian Mack watched and recorded from another room, he saw something very strange happen to a woman in the group.
Face has completely changed. Doesn't it look like a person?
这女的笑有点诡异吗
Debbie, you need to come down here for a minute, please.
Weird. Face has completely changed. Doesn't even look like a
诡异的笑容
person.
One seance member's face actually begins to change and contort into something that can only be described as horrific. Her nose seems to grow and her mouth stretches into a bizarre inhuman grin right in front of the camera. Fearing for the woman's safety, they call down and remove her from the group. After the seance, the woman has a strange burn mark down the back of her neck, even though she had been dressed in several layers of clothing. She later said that after the incident, she experienced horrible nightmares and bizarre occurrences around her home. So was this some supernatural possession by a ghost caught on camera? Or just a trick of the light? Let me know what you think down in the comments. A whisper on the wind.
不懂啦
This next clip is from Big Brother Brazil in 2004. In this video, one of the contestants named Cida is sunbathing when she suddenly hears a strange voice calling her name.
What the f... 这是我们能看的吗？我勒个豆啊！
Ué, eu ouvi meu nome. Cida? Quem tá chamando? É na casa?
But no one is calling her name. In fact, she is all alone until one of her roommates walks outside.
Ah, vem cá. É você que tá chamando? É. Ai, que susto. Ainda bem que você chamou.
他被吓到了。 他觉得这个人，他觉得这个女的就是表现得很奇怪啊。她把衣服穿起来，然后突然站起来了。谁在叫我？谁在叫我？是员工吗？谁在叫我？ 因为这个工作上的事情，所以我叫他啊。是你在叫我吗？我说是的啊，但并不是。然后他说，那还好啊，我挺费解，到底是谁来叫我的？他听着就像是他那个妹妹的声音啊，在叫他。
Just a few minutes later, Cida is called into the production room by the Big Brother executives. She finds out that unfortunately, her very sick sister Gloria has just passed away.
Ah! Holy shit, man!
Faleceu?
她去世了。我受不了了，哭了。
Even stranger, Cida's sister passed away at almost the exact same time that Cida heard her sister's voice calling her name.
E ontem, o que aconteceu exatamente que foi tão impressionante? Você ouviu alguém te chamando e era o quê? Meia hora, 45 minutos depois da morte da Glória. O que você ouviu? Você ouviu ela te chamando?
Ouvi.
我操，这
Mais de uma vez?
量子纠缠
Muito mais.
很多
Só
次，
dizia o seu nome?
Só meu nome.
只有我的名字。
Eu achei que fosse minha imaginação.
但我觉得这可能是我的想象
Fiquei。procurando.
然后我一直在找，
Procurei as pessoas.
但是我没
Ninguém.
我一直在找人，但是
A única pessoa
并
que
没有人。
estava era a Thaís. Lavando tênis de costas.
Now bear in mind, this was all broadcast live on Brazilian TV. So, Is this proof of life after death broadcast on television? Is it proof that loved ones can contact us from beyond the grave? Or is it just a very odd coincidence? Let me know what you think. Mayor declares emergency ghost. Now the strangest thing about this next paranormal video might be the source, because this video was released by the actual mayor of the city of Armenia, Colombia, Jose Manuel Rios. So the security guard in this video says that he saw a male figure descend the stairs inside the mayor's office. He pursues the man, but the guy seems to vanish into thin air. The security guard can be seen on CCTV searching the area, but then things take a terrifying turn.
21年，怎么镜头这么亮啊？手机调过曝了吗？手机感觉有点调过曝了啊！还是我操！我操！我操！有点离谱吧？他就飞到墙上去了啊 ！What the hell, man？ 我操，又来！同事来帮忙了。这一下可撞不轻啊！我操，直接站不起来了！我操，真的假的？这太扯了吧！我操！还有高手吗？
In the video, the security guard appears to be suspiciously looking around the area, seemingly confused. Then suddenly an unseen force seems to attack the man and throw him into a banner. The guard can be seen looking around in panic, with no assailant in sight. He then suffers another attack and 2 guards hurry over to help him. The somewhat shaken mayor of Armenia says that, quote, a bishop and other religious leaders will come to bless the mayor's offices, and that they will, quote, bring God's blessing to every corner of this workspace. Now it seems highly doubtful that the mayor of Armenia, Colombia would suddenly release a fake ghost video. So just what do you think happened to this security guard? The Haunted Hill House. The Hill House in Mineral Wells, Texas is said to be one of the most haunted locations in the US. With its 125-year dark and troubling past, that doesn't come as much of a surprise. The home was once a haven for illegal activity. It served as a gambling hall, a bootlegging operation, and even a brothel. It also served as a makeshift hospital for over 50 years. It is said that the Haunted Hill House is inhabited by the ghosts of at least 9 people who lost their lives there. So, one night in late September, a group of friends and family rented the Hill House to just have a little fun. In fact, many of them were doubters who just wanted to prove that the so-called Haunted Hill House wasn't actually haunted at all. But that's not exactly how things went down. The house is said to be haunted by one particularly violent spirit that the house's owners refer to as Dr. Yeager. One of the visitors, Victoria, lays down on the bed in one of the rooms, and she jokingly starts taunting the ghost of Dr. Yeager. It did not go well.
Woo!
As you can see, she was yanked off the bed. This was not a fall. And then they ran out. We're going to rewind that and we're going to show you in regular screen.
Something seems to violently yank Victoria right off the bed as her friends look on in terror. The house has a static black and white security camera in every room, and it catches the action as Victoria is pulled off the bed and the group makes a run for it. One of the guys is so shook, he even drops his phone and just leaves it on the floor behind him. Now, cut to about an hour later, around 3 a.m. A guy named Drew wants to test this alleged paranormal activity for himself. So he enters the same room and immediately begins taunting the ghost of Dr. Yeager, saying that the spirit is a coward and that if he really wants to attack someone, why doesn't he try attacking a man instead?
Look at the guy in the white hat right here, guys. Follow him.
太角落了吧
Before I can even finish my sentence, in the air.
我操！他是被肘了一下是吧？还是怎么回事啊？没看明白啊。
Did you see he got pushed?
So Drew got his wish. He is violently shoved by something, and then he almost knocks down his two friends while making a mad dash from the room. It should be noted that Drew has gone on record as saying that he will never set foot back inside the haunted Hill House ever again. But it gets even weirder, because as Drew and his friends run from the room, something seems to yank the door shut behind them. If you watch closely, you can actually see the doorknob move as if it's being pulled. So is the haunted Hill House one of the most haunted places on Earth? Would you go into that room and taunt the spirit of Dr. Yeager? Let me know down in the comments.
我感觉应该还有其他人来过。
They live. This next bizarre video was recorded at a private party in a banquet hall in Russia. The party was attended by billionaires, supermodels, and politicians. Basically, some of the most rich and powerful people in Russia. Popular Russian musician Sergei Shnorov and his band Ruble were hired to perform at the event. But something very odd happened when there was an unexpected temporary power failure in the venue. The video captures the bizarre glowing eyes of some of the attendees. Although the video only captures a few of them, witnesses claim that most of the people at the party had these same strange glowing eyes.
Выступление, на самом деле, как выступление, но что-то случилось со светом в прекрасный момент, он просто погас. Почему-то у большинства людей, которые были в зале, а там были люди совершенно такого серьезного полета, стали светиться глаза. Барабанщик у нас, собственно, выронил палочки, и больше мы песен не играли. Было пи***ц как страшно, поэтому мы съебались оттуда даже. Я и не помню, как мы дома оказались.
Можешь назвать фамилию?
Now, once this bit of video became public, there were all sorts of wild conspiracy theories. Everything from that the Russian cultural elite were all aliens or reptilians, to even claims that they were all vampires. But the prevailing theory was almost as bizarre. Many people believe that these rich and powerful people were using mysterious biological experiments to stay young. So the theories on this one are divided, but pretty much all of the explanations offered are creepy and strange. So the question remains, what can cause a room full of the Russian elite to have eyes that glow in the dark? First ghost hunt, last ghost hunt. Reddit user Amanda Burke and her husband were exploring the haunted Hillview Manor, an old mental asylum located in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Amanda says that they walked around the asylum with a tour group, checking EVP meters that were given to them by the tour guide. But she says nothing much happened. Then they began to hear an odd shuffling sound at the end of one of the halls, but they thought nothing of it. Then suddenly, from the end of the hall, they heard running footsteps charging right toward them. Amanda says that the whole event was one of the scariest things she's ever experienced. Now, I should note that I don't usually show videos without some visible or audible evidence of the supernatural. But looking at the reaction of this group and seeing just how hard and painful those falls look, I think this is pretty compelling evidence that something came down that hall. Also, again, Amanda and her friends are not ghost hunters, they're not YouTubers, and they're not TikTokers. She simply posted this video to Reddit to share her strange experience.
On November 14 of 2025, a small family rents out an Airbnb for a few days, unaware that they would encounter something very unsettling while staying there. They had booked the place in advance for an upcoming wedding that was out of town, so staying here made sense. But one night, after coming back from walking their dog, this happens.
We were just out walking my dog, and when we came in, we heard...
啥呀？I see， 听见这个楼梯走路的声音。
Jesus Christ！
窗户是开着的。气球开始动，因为有气流嘛，对吧？它除非在动，还在动吗？哇哇哇
Grinch!
Somehow, the leash on her dog
What's
suddenly jolts up in a quick motion before wrapping itself around her dog. It just flings up as if someone had chucked it upwards, but clearly, no one is seen on the stairs to have done that, which is very odd considering that just moments ago this was heard. Now Sydney, who recorded this video, was just as baffled as the Airbnb host who received this video from her. But this wouldn't be the only video she sends, because the next day, while placing the leash on the stairs to see if it would jump again, this is captured.
Okay, so this is the leash. There she goes again. I don't think the leash is gonna move, but she's definitely sensing something.
它要是有鱼线的话，那狗肯定被缠住了，对吧？
Every single day.
Although the leash doesn't move this time, her dog goes ahead and does this. For some reason, it's at the same time the leash is on the steps that her dog begins to search for something. But like before, nothing appears to be there. Sydney even checks the rug to see if anything on or under it was making her dog behave this way. But still, nothing. However, there's something in this video that's worth pointing out, and it's a detail that appears in other videos that Sydney recorded of her dog. Watch closely.
So I wanted to show you guys some footage of my dog with these stairs. So here's another clip that I got of her doing it over and see her, and she was so locked into this.
Now, if you didn't notice, in each video, Sydney's dog is always around a certain area of the stairs. It's always the middle or lower half of the steps, but never the top. If it wasn't for this detail, Sydney would not have realized this.
So I think I figured out why my dog is always hanging out right here. So I just found a door back here. So I don't think that it's what's on the stairs. I tried to check, but the door is locked. Obviously it's an Airbnb, so they lock a lot of the doors up. Yeah, I don't think that it's what's on the stairs like what I initially thought. I think it's what's below.
Considering that the space is on the ground, it explains why her dog is never seen on top. She seems to be sensing something that's in this room. But the question is, what exactly is she sensing? Wanting to find out, Sydney and her sister probe around the space to see what it might be that's inside. But during this moment, while recording, they capture this.
So this is the switch. You guys can see their light is on right there. I wonder if...
Almost immediately after Sydney pulls out her phone, the door knob suddenly turns. Although no one was seen on the other side, the door handle moves as if held from the other end. Now Sydney was under the impression that a person had turned the knob, so they reach out to the Airbnb host and ask if anyone else is renting the place.
Sent the video to the landlord of the Airbnb, and hold on, let me turn asking, like, hey, is there someone else renting it out as well as us or what? Because basically he was like, no, you guys are the only ones that are in the Airbnb right now, like booked out for the week.
After finding out that no one else is inside, Sydney concludes that what happened that night wasn't a case of someone co-renting the house, but rather another paranormal occurrence. To her, this is much preferable over having a stranger inside the house. But despite being at ease now, knowing that it's not a person, the doorknob incident still baffles her. This is so, especially given that it still moves now and then.
还要动吗？耐心等待。
Scary. Okay. Okay, every time we've knocked before, this doorknob would turn a little bit.
啊，还晚上了是吧？哦，动了，动了，动了，动了塞进去，我操，太突然了吧，我操！我操，听看有没有声音。我操，这个女士刨根问底了。我操，有点恐怖啊，有点恐怖。 我操！水被拉，地下室，他水被拉走了。Holy shit! Holy shit! 不会出现什么东西吧？我操！不会出现什么东西吧 ？Holy shit, man!
As it turns out, this room is actually a basement. Out of nowhere, the phone gets yanked inside before tumbling down the steps and landing on its face. But it's before it tumbles that something weird happens. If you didn't notice, the phone moves on its own again before falling down. But of course, the strangest part is when the phone somehow lifts itself. Neither Sydney nor the Airbnb host could explain this. It just rises up before falling back with no footsteps around to suggest that someone was there. It's no wonder why many see this as being paranormal. To Sydney and her sister, that's exactly the case. Whatever had been inside did not seem to like their intrusion, from the leash moving on its own to the phone being pulled inside. It currently remains unknown as to what exactly occurred here, but as with all videos, you be the judge on whether or not something supernatural took place. As always, let me know your thoughts on this one.
除了那个会翻跟头那个扫地机器人以外。
Now the following video was recorded by a grandmother who lives alone with her dog and 2 cats. However, it appears that her pets aren't the only ones keeping her company, because according to her, there's something in her house that won't leave her alone.
В зеркале было отражение чего-то не очень непонятного. На видео. Я вам всем докажу.
According to Polina, last night she recorded a video of something that appeared in her bedroom. It showed up in the same spot where it often appears, around the mirror. She's been trying to get it on camera as her family believes it's nothing. They believe it's her old age that's making her see things. But after watching this video, they're not so sure now if that's the case. Take a look.
Уходи отсюда. Я тебя не боюсь. Уходи отсюда. Уходи из моего дома. Уходи. Я тебя не боюсь.
看明白哦，那是印子吗？这个脏的得擦了，老姨。
Уходи отсюда. Уходи отсюда. Я тебя не боюсь.
我操！就弯过来了，我的。
Уходи. Уходи, я сказала. Уходи отсюда. Уходи. Я тебя не боюсь.
After Polina realizes that what she'd seen wasn't there, she catches sight of this, a dangling ornament beneath the lamp, moving on its own. However, it wasn't just swaying back and forth as one would expect, it was curving upwards in a strange manner that neither a draft or wind current could cause. Now, whatever happened that night is something that remains uncertain. In either case, whether paranormal or not, just seeing this out of nowhere is unsettling. But one night, Polina decides to record again because apparently she saw the same figure hiding inside her fireplace. Take a look.
说实话，刚才我没看见那个影子什么样子，好像是个头啊！我操 ！What the fuck？ 没看懂啊，看不明白，我觉得看不明白，你知道吧 ？The fuck？
Like something out of a nightmare, what looks like a head suddenly appears in the fireplace, and the freakiest part is that it shows itself right when Polina starts to get close. It's as if whatever this was had realized she was approaching. Understandably, she was freaked out by this, but more so after going back to the space and seeing the fireplace completely empty now. Like before, what she saw initially is now gone. Now currently, no new videos have been shared by Polina, whether supernatural or something else. These two clips are without a doubt pretty terrifying.
所以刚才他对着镜子拍那个角里是不是也有东西啊？我总感觉好像也有东西啊。
Now the following video comes from a young mother named Akina, and ever since having her first child, she's been posting numerous videos of her baby boy. It's her first child, so it makes sense that she would want to capture every moment involving her son Ponko. From the time he was born to the moment he got his first playpen, Akina has been sharing lots of memories involving Ponko on her page. However, not every moment has been shared online, and for good reason. On January 29th of 2024, at around 2:30 in the morning, Akina was dead asleep when she suddenly woke up to something in her bedroom. Thankfully, little Ponko was unaware of what was happening because during this moment, something pretty frightening happened. The following is what was caught. Take a look.
门开了，可能是气流。不出来冲出，不会有什么东西进来吧？我操！有点离谱了。然后呢？哟，啊，没有自己开了。然后呢？我们自己关了。不会冒出来什么东西吧？我操！没有。吓我一跳！吓我一跳！他叫了一声，干嘛？看见啥了？我要看左上角那什么玩意儿啊？原来是风扇啊！我操，我什么鬼东西呢？
It's no wonder why Akina didn't want to share this video initially. Now, besides the fact that the door opens and closes all by itself, there's something Akina mentions that makes this whole video even more terrifying. According to her, at this moment, she had seen a figure standing at the doorway which looked a lot like her husband. But the weird part about this is that her husband had not come home from work yet. It was only a few hours before he came back, but strangely, to Akina, he was there, just staring at her from a distance. Now clearly, no one is there. However, if you listen closely to the audio, you can hear Akina's security alarm going off as though someone entered the house. It's for this reason she leaves the room to turn it off and to chase her husband, who was walking away at this point. But it's from this moment that things start to get creepier, because not long after, Akina acts strange. From standing motionless at the door to quickly coming in and sitting down in a rigid manner, it's almost as if Akina was someone else. But as it turns out, she was just scared, because after heading downstairs to see where her husband had gone, she saw that all the lights were still off and the door still locked. Her husband, as it seems, was not home yet. Freaked out, she heads back up and sits down while trying to figure out what just happened. If he wasn't home, then who was? She continues to replay this moment in her head, despite occurring a while ago. But until it's figured out what happened, she'll continue to keep this video up on her page while sharing more videos of her son. For now, this occurrence remains a mystery. Now, the following video was submitted to me by Ariane B, who writes that she took this video during a school field trip to the Philippines. It was 2010 when she recorded this, so understandably, the quality isn't that good. But despite being filmed on a cheap cell phone, she was able to capture something pretty noticeable on camera. And of course, what she notices is pretty creepy. According to her, she was taking a tour of an old fortress where many soldiers had lost their lives. This fortress is known as Fort Mills, and the section of this fort that Ariane was touring is known as Battery Grubs, a section where both Filipino and American soldiers had sacrificed their lives while defending against invading forces in 1942. While touring Battery Grubs, Ariane captures this.
这个视频有点爆浆了。哇，那什么东西？突然这速度有点太快了吧 ？What the fuck？ 一个人吗？然后突然缩下去了，看不清啊，看不清样子。操，这速度很快，非常快啊。
Now it's been 15 years since this video was taken, and Ariane hadn't realized what was captured until rewatching this footage recently. On the upper level of this barrack, there appears to be something moving, but it doesn't look like a tourist who was just wandering. Rather, it looks like a moving blurb that disappears in an instant. Now, of course, given the camera's low quality, this might have just been a camera artifact, or in other words, a visual glitch. But it's worth noting that this only appears once throughout the entire video. Never again do we see anything like this afterwards, suggesting that maybe this wasn't the camera acting up, but instead something that was actually there. As Ariane believes, this blurb was most likely the spirit of one of the soldiers who passed away during battle here. Perhaps this is them still living out the same scenario that played out during 1942, unaware that they're no longer alive. It's a sad thought, but nevertheless, this footage creeps out Ariane. So then, just what exactly was caught on camera at this fort?
Now,
it's often the case that videos on the paranormal take place inside a home. It's usually the setting that makes small disturbances feel twice as scary, but the same can be said for any place where something that shouldn't occur happens. Such is the case in this next video, where a group of Philippine students had caught something on camera inside an empty restroom. But as you'll see, it definitely wasn't. Take a look.
他为什么在对着厕所拍？他干嘛？他是听见什么动静然后开始拍吗？我没懂他为什么这角度很奇怪啊，你不觉得吗？他这个隔间的门开始在动了，打开了，那没看见动静啊？啊？
Out of nowhere, the sound
我没懂为什么会还有哭声，但是他虽然说隔音门在动，但是我没看见在动啊！我操
！The only thing that is seen are the empty stalls, where just moments ago
后期配的吗？
one of them began to open on its own.
fuck?
But even without seeing this, the voice alone is pretty unnerving.
确实。这声音确实
It's
感觉
enough
挺
to
人
make
不安的。
anyone just run away. Now, very little info is available on this
我感觉有点
clip,
莫名其
but
妙，
what was captured is
声音
just
是不是
one
后期配的？
instance of something supernatural that occurred here. This school is said to be haunted. So then, was a ghost caught on camera, or had something else been captured?